Hi, today we'll continue working on this Sinclair ZX Spectrum 16K. As you may remember, in the two previous videos, we did composite video upgrade or modification. We fixed the we replaced the TR4 and TR5 transistors here, which were causing this machine to fail or not work. So it's fully working. Have a look at previous videos if you want to. I'll link them somewhere here. Have a look at previous videos if you want to see the whole repair. So the plan for today was to upgrade RAM. This is fairly simple mod. You just place some ICs and just by the way, this is issue 2. I'm not sure if you can see motherboard. So it's just placing one jumper wire between one of the two points here, which I'll show you later. So this is very simple. So in order to make this video a little bit more interested, we'll do a recap as well. So we'll be replacing the capacitors. So for the memory upgrade, you'll need RAM. You'll need 4164 RAM chips. As you can see, I have lots of them. You need 8, so we'll put them in these sockets here. You'll also need a few other chips. So you need one 74LS32. I have a few of those here. You'll need two 74LS157 chips, which will go here. 74LS32 will go right here, and the last one that you'll need is 74LS00, which will go here, I believe. I'll check that, double check that later. So that's pretty much it, and you'll need a little bit of wire or a resistor or capacitor leg or anything. That there's two. Let me show you that. So as you can see, or maybe you can't see, there's a line, white line here, and there's 3 points or 3 holes in here, which are filled filled with solder. So you place a jumper either between these two or either between these two. One I think is 5 volts, the other is I can't remember. This one is ground, I believe. But anyway, you'll just need to connect those two, and that's it. And the reason for that is obviously Sinclair used faulty RAMs, so either upper half or lower half was faulty, so that's how you select it. Assuming that you'll be using the fully working RAM chips, you can use any of the upper or lower part half. It doesn't matter. So that's pretty much it. For the caps, we'll recap the machine first and then do upgrade. And again, upgrade is just 2-minute job placing the ICs. So to replace the caps, you will need 100 microfarad caps. I think these are 100 microfarad, maybe a few of them as well. So you'll need 100 microfarad, and I think I have these right here. Yeah, these are 100 microfarad, 25 volts. I think you need 16 volts or something like that. 25 volts is perfectly fine. The problem with these are slightly, as you can see, they're thicker. So, but I think they will work. There may be issue with the keyboard going on top of it. Yeah, we'll see. I'll check that. So you need this. You need 22 microfarad caps. And again, these are 63 volts, which is huge overkill, but that's all I have. And 1 microfarad, I believe, is this 1 microfarad? Yeah, 1 microfarad there. And again, 63 volts overkill. So as I said, we'll start with that. So I'll put this aside. I'll remove the board. So there's a few options when it comes to recapping the thing. One, which I'll be using, I'll just add fresh solder and heat up one side, pull the one side of the cap, and do the same thing with the other. Another option would be to use either low melt solder and just add low melt solder to this to these points, so for example here and here. And yeah, but again, I don't think that's necessary. Another option is to use some sort of solder sucker, or yeah, I have one. I won't be using it. There's not that many. I would have to pull it out from the storage, so makes no sense to do that. And again, there's fairly easy access to those, pretty much all of those. So yeah, that's the way we'll do it. By the way, I'll also be replacing this voltage regulator, and I have a few. Let me see. I have a few. This is 7005, essentially, just regular 7005. If I'm not wrong, yeah, 7805. So you either use one of these, and again I have ones, but this will be my backup strategy. But I also have, if I can find it, so this is switching regulator, and this is kind of drop-in replacement for this, for 7805, and this one is R7850. Not sure you can see it, but maybe like this. This is Recom, I think. Anything that gives you 5 volts will work. The idea is that this gets very, very hot, and this whole radiator gets very hot, and the whole inside gets very hot. So the idea is that this doesn't generate pretty much any heat at all, works perfectly fine, accepts a lot of a wide range of input voltages. So you can use, I believe, 12 volts, even 12 volts if you want to, 18 volts even. Yeah. So yeah, this is fairly good. The problem is that normally, again, as a kind of drop-in replacement, it goes like that. So it goes into these holes and sits there. But if we go here, so this is the keyboard. So these are the posts that sit on top of the board. So this is the maximum height, essentially. Or sorry, this is the maximum height that we can use. So if you place one here, so you can see is, or maybe you can't see it, it's tiny bit too high. It's just, I'm not sure how to show you that. Anyway, it's a little bit too high. It will work if you put it on the side like that. As you can, maybe you can see it now, or maybe not. Sorry about that. There. So you see, there's some space. In this direction, there's no way it will fit. So, and again, putting it on the side is a problem, because these legs, it needs to go like that. So this printed kind of, as you can see, this is pin 1. Sorry. Pin 1 right here. So this is input, and pin 1 on this one is right here. So it has to go like that. Unfortunately, as you can see, these legs are just too short. I could bend them, but they are too short. They won't reach. I could place it like this, and it'll still work. But again, there's not much space here. So I probably won't be able to, to fit it in here. So the only option I have is to place it like that. But again, then these legs won't, are just too short. So what I'll do, I'll just cut this one off, leave those right here. So I'll cut this one off. So I won't be desoldering these legs from here. I'll just cut it right here, as close to the case as possible. And then I'll put this one on top of it and solder these legs to the remains of the legs here. I'll show you that later. We'll try that. If that doesn't work, then again, I have a backup plan. We'll just desolder all of this and put the new one. If I manage to put this regulator here, I won't need this heatsink at all. So it'll be a lot cooler inside the case, but that'll be later stage. So let's start with the caps, and I will remove this heatsink because I need access to, especially this one. Probably could work around that, but I will be removing that anyway. So I'll remove that first, and I'll start removing these caps. By the way, one of these caps, I think this one, has wrong orientation printed on the board. So as you can see, there's plus here on this side. This is C46, I believe, C46, and plus is right here. And if you see, if you notice, it's on the cap is the other way around. So we need to keep this in mind. So it's minus right here. So we'll keep that in mind. Everything else should be fine. So plus here, where's plus here? Plus here, plus here. Yeah, so everything else, let me double check. Where's plus on this one? There it is, plus here, and it should be here somewhere, and it is. So everything else seems to be correct. It's just this one. Anyway, I'll remove the heatsink and we'll continue. Okay, so let's start with this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some fresh solder on both sides. So right here and then here, and then I'll just start desoldering it. So as I said, let's start with the back. So we'll do this cap, and these are its legs. So I'll add some fresh solder on this side, just to make it easier. Like that. I'll add some fresh solder on this side as well. Okay, and now I'll just heat up one side. Just wiggle it out. Don't use excessive force. You don't want to pull the tracks or pull the holes. So one side is done. The other side, same thing. Just heat it up. Wiggle a little bit, gone. So next thing, let's remove the solder from these holes. Just solder wick, regular solder wick should work. That's still there, so we'll need to go back to that. Still there. Let's try it from the other side. Still not working. We'll add some fresh solder and we'll pull it out. Should be fairly easy. Yep. So let's do it again. First of all, I'll cut this off. There's quite a lot of solder here. So let's add some fresh solder again. We'll do it from this side. That should be enough. And let's do that. Try that now. Done. And done. So the holes are empty. So you can hopefully see this one and this one. So I'll clean it off a little bit. The other side as well. And that's done. So make notes. This is 22 microfarads, 16 volts. Not sure if you can see it. probably not. You have to trust me. So C50, 22 microfarads. I'll make notes myself just to make sure I don't put the incorrect values there. Okay, so let's do this one next, which is C34. So again, we'll go to the back side, and it's this and this points. Yes. So again, I'll add some fresh solder on to both of these. Need to be closer to the fume extractor intake. There, that's done. Let's do this side. So a little bit of fresh solder on this side. Right there. Sorry, you probably can't see much, but there's no point in pulling out or using this the microscope on this one. So which one was it? This one. So let's start from this side. I'll pull the legs from this side. This one doesn't want to go there. And the other one, so I'll flip it over like that. Another option would be to cut the legs off first, leave some wire, obviously, cut the legs and then pull the legs separately. That would also work. By the way, this is 22 microfarad, which you most likely can't see, but again, 22 microfarads. So I'll make a note before I forget. Okay, so that's done. Now let's remove the solder. On this one I'll try it from this side because it's quite... Actually, it should be okay from this side as well. Let's try from this side. So let's use wick again. Done. And next one. That one's done. And I forgot to turn on my... I had to turn it off. There. My fume extractor. Sorry. So that's done. Let's clean it off again. And I'll continue working on it. I'll do the remaining caps. So again, just use add some fresh solder to make things easier. Pull the caps. Make sure you make notes which cap goes where. So that's very important. And make sure you don't forget about this one, which is the reverse polarity. So yeah, I'll do all that. And I'll come back when it's all done and we'll put the new caps on the board. Okay, so all the caps have been removed, as you can see right here. So I'll put this aside. Again, there were no major issues. Some of those were harder to remove than others. Like for example, I think this one here, where there's quite a lot of quite a big ground plane right there. But again, just heat it up, wiggle it, and then they will come off. This one also, which was too close for my comfort zone to other components, so I heat it up from the bottom, added fresh solder on the bottom, heat it up from the bottom, and just pulled it out. So again, fairly easy to do. I don't see any problem removing those. Now we'll start putting back the new ones. Again, make sure you have the polarity right. So, for example, in this one here, C45 plus is C40. There's 200 microfarad caps here. The upper one is plus is on this side, the lower one is plus on this one. So make sure if you have axial capacitors like these ones, so the plus, first of all, minus is these arrows here, so they'll point you that this is minus, plus there is kind of indentation here, so this is plus. So this will go that way. And again, I'll start with this because I'm not sure if they will fit, because they are quite thicker, so I have not sure. They should work. I believe they should work. But anyway, let's put them in on and we'll see. So just put it here. Just roughly measure where they need to bend where you need to bend the legs, and they should fit. So this one goes right there. Put it as close to the board as possible, something like this, and then I'll probably hold it with my one hand and just solder the legs, because again I need to make sure it's very close, as you can see here, very close to the board. And once I do that, we'll try it, put it in the case and see if it works. So let's do it now. So what I'll do, I'll just add some solder to one of the legs, and then I'll heat it up again while pushing, so that it there. That should work. It's flush to the board. It is. Yep. So now the other one. Just like that. Just add some more to this one. There. So this one's done. I'll cut off the legs. Just make sure you don't lose these, because if you leave them there, they will short something. And I'll actually use one of these for this for 48K upgrade. Should be plenty. Yeah, should be enough. So keep one of these, and we'll use it as this jumper wire. So that's done. Let's try and put it in the case now. So I'll put it right there. And now, moment of truth. Is it going to fit? It does fit perfectly, as you can see. So no problem there. So I'll do the other 100 microfarad. Just make sure you have the correct orientation. So another one, this one goes the other way around, because again plus is right here. So on this one, this is the plus, and this one right here. So again, I'll just roughly measure just like that. And by the way, I also, as you may have noticed, I also cut off these legs here. So as you can see, they're still sticking out right there. So we'll be soldering this like that. But let's do the caps first. And that's probably, by the way, not the best idea to replace caps and do this one at the same time, because if something doesn't work, I'll never know. But again, I have spare 7805, so yeah, I can come back to original state at any time. So now this one, needs to go like that, so that it's flat on the board. Probably not the prettiest, but it will do. Okay, sits there nicely, so just like that. And like that. So make sure that it sits flat there. Cut out the legs. And we are done. And I'll just do one last try, just to see if it works. Because if not, I will try to find some other capacitors. Yeah, fits perfectly fine, closes very nicely, as you can see. So that's not a problem at all. So what I'll do, I'll continue. I'll put these caps, and again, make sure that you have the correct orientation. So plus needs to go to plus, obviously, with one exception. This one, C46. Am I right? Yeah, C46. This one plus is here on the right, or the DC barrel side, but is actually incorrect. So plus needs to be on this side. Make sure you remember that and put plus side of your cap on this side. Apart from that, it's all fairly straightforward. So I'll do that off camera, and I'll come back when it's done. By the way, you don't need to use this axial, or whatever you pronounce it, caps. So ones with the legs on both sides, you can use normal caps. What you do, you just take one of the legs and bend it to the side. And bend, so let's assume you have two legs on this side, or let's assume this is one cap, right? So you just take one leg and bend it very close to the case, to this side, and then you have essentially the same cap. It won't look that nice, so if you can get this, yeah, make sure you have the kind of use branded caps like Panasonic's, Nishikon's, or whatever. These are, I think, should be Nishikon, I think, but I may Vishay. These are Vishay. So yeah, use good quality caps, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very straightforward. No major issues on this one. So again, I'll do everything else off camera, and then I'll come back when I'm soldering this, and we'll try if it works, and then we'll do final 48K upgrade. Okay, so all the caps are in place. Now let's just, again, no problems at all. Make sure they have the correct orientation and all, but apart from that, it's perfectly fine. So now with this regulator, so I'll put it like that, and I just solder these legs here. I'll probably flip it to this side so that it's easier for me to do. I need to just tap one, and then I'll do the other two. I'll just make sure it does not stick to the outside of the board, although it should be space for it, but yeah, I'll do it like this. Yeah, that's not going to be easy. Let me just add some solder to this first, like that, and then I'll reposition it. There. That's perfectly fine. So let's do the other one. Should have probably added solder first, but I'll add quite a lot of solder to this. redo this one. Okay, so that's done. Looks brand new, if you ask me. Yeah, it doesn't stick out. It should be okay. I mean, it doesn't need any. You may add some double-sided tape, but again, it's fairly sturdy. I don't think it will fall off anytime soon. So that's done. Before we do the 48K upgrade, let's go ahead, put it in the case. So that's what I'll do, just to make sure it closes. I won't be connecting the keyboard. Again, these are quite fragile ribbon cables, so I prefer not to do them one, connect them and disconnect and do it all over again. So the case closes perfectly fine. So what I'll do, I'll connect power. I'll connect it to the monitor or TV, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so everything connected. By everything I mean power is right here, the composite cable and the tester, memory tester or system tester. So let me just share my capture window. And let's see. Okay, it boots perfectly fine. The colors are slightly off. Like, yeah, there's no white. That might be a combination of my upscaler capture card and all this setup here. So yeah, let's see if it goes through perfectly fine. Yep, upper RAM not detected, so that's fine. Looks perfectly fine. Let me double check. I connected straight to my TV. I connected straight to my TV and see what happens. I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so I did connect it to my TV and it works perfectly fine. So the colors are fine. I mean, as much as they can be with this little computer, but they're fine. So I think it's a combination of my setup or of the upscaler and capture card and all that. Everything seems to be fine so far, so I'm happy with that. So the last thing, and by the way, this regulator is not even warm, and it's been on like for a few minutes, so yeah, ULA is probably burning hot. Yeah, this one, not at all. I think this is really good solution. Anyway, let's do what we intended to do. So let's upgrade the memory. So first things first, what I'll do, I'll do the jumper here. So I'm not sure if you will be able to see it. Let me grab something. So again, as I said, right here there's that white line. So you connect either these 2 points, this one and this one, or this middle one and this lower one. Don't connect upper one with the lower one because you'll make a short and you'll probably damage your spectrum. So I'll just use these ones. So the upper ones, so the top one and the middle one. I'll just remove the solder from there, from these holes. Let me just make sure I'll have the correct holes. That's not going to be easy. So it's the IC there, and right next to that IC, yeah, this one, and this one. So I'll remove solder from this one and this one. Yeah, so let's do it now. Where's my desoldering blade? There it is. So I'll add some fresh solder first, as usual. I think this was this one. Right here. Add fresh solder. And I should have turned on my fume extractor, but yeah. That should, no, still lots of solder in that hole. There. Is it the right hole? Yes, it is. So this one's done. Let's remove this. Still some solder left there, so there. That's done. I'll clean this off. The other side should be fine. Yeah. So, as I said, what I'll do, I'll reuse one of these. So, where are my pliers? There. So I'll just bend one side, just roughly measure the distance like that, and somewhere around here. Doesn't need to be perfect, like that. So, focus please, there. So what we'll do, we'll go to this side. You could technically do it from the other side, but let's make it pretty. Yeah, that's going to be challenging. There. So it's in. I'm not going to push it too far back, just in case I will need to remove it at some point. So that's done. Right there. There. So it's done. So again, it's just a jumper. You could use wire here if you don't have any spare capacitor or resistor legs. So that's done. Let me clean that off again, just a tiny bit. Done. So, last thing, we need to put these ICs right here. Now, be careful with these ICs, again, be careful. Because, as you can see, those memory modules or ICs, pin 1 is here on every single one of them, and this one's here as well. But these sockets are, some of them are in the right position, some of them are not. Like, for example, so this one's right, this one's, I think, correct. But if you look at this one, this is the other way around. So again, look at the solder at the solder mask here. So pin 1 is here. So they all face up. Same with this. As you can see, these are placed in different direction. Why? I don't know. Same with this, but they all face up. So let's start with RAM. So we need 8 4164, and by the way, I don't know if they all work or not, but hopefully they do. So I'll do it off camera because it's easier for me to look at it. So I'll put 8 of these out of this RAM in their sockets, and I'll be back. Okay, so the RAM is in place. Now we just need to put those chips here. So 74LS1515, what was that? 157. 74LS157. These go right here. This is IC26 and IC25. And again, make sure you have your orientation right. So let's put those in there. Yeah, this sits there nice and tight. Same thing here. Which one is it? 157 right there. So again, goes right here, like that. And then 74LS00, I think, goes right here. So I see 24. Yep, 74LS00 goes in that middle one, right here. It's kind of hard to do with the camera. Just like that. And 74LS32. Come on, focus. Goes here. So, like that. And that's done. We should be all good. So, let me reconnect the whole thing. I'll clean up my desk. Let me reconnect the whole setup, and we'll see if it works, or if it still works. Okay, so everything is connected now. So I have my card, my diagnostics card. I have the output there. Let me share the screen. So, moment of truth. It does boot. That's good. So now let's see. Lower RAM should be fine because we didn't change anything. So it should be fine. And we'll see if this upper RAM, so the new RAM that we've just installed, works as well. Okay. So as you can see, previously it said that there's no upper RAM detected. Now it's actually detected it and is testing it. So hopefully it'll be all good. So the fact that it detected it means that we did everything correctly. It's just now I'm just wondering if my RAM chips were fine, because I don't know that. Perfect. So everything seems to be in order. Obviously, I can do a lot more tests when I connect the keyboard and all that, but I don't want to keep you for too long. So again, all is done. And as you can see, the 48K upgrade, well, this is tight. 48K upgrade is very easy to do. It's just 8 memory chips and 4 these LS74 whatever chips, plus that jumper. Essentially, you pretty much don't need to do any soldering with the exception of that jumper, and it's all done for you essentially. So yeah, and again, this one is not even warm at all. It's cold. So I think I can recommend this and again, you don't have to install. We don't have to install this heatsink now. So it to me this is a very good idea. Everything works fine. Yeah, I think that's I'm done with this little machine. I'll just do some cleanup. I'll clean the case, and it's a perfectly fine, nice working ZX Spectrum 48. So yeah, I obviously highly recommend this upgrade. I recommend this, and I also recommend you change the caps in this one because this is a very old machine, and Sir Cliff Sinclair was known to make shortcuts, so God knows what these caps were, where they came from. Original caps, I mean. So yeah, highly recommend. Please like and subscribe if you like my videos. I'll do something different next time. Thank you.